Hey, pre-notification gang. Coming along, great rip. And no, I didn't see the Starfield release date. You try more Roblox? Not tonight. I'll probably go back to some Wulong tonight, considering Destiny 2 is still down. Thanks to the resub Hugh. And the resub Pie. And the resub Hectario and Gazer. Why are you hating on Dr. Disrespect? What a weird perspective. I even applauded what he wanted to do. I just pointed out a very real issue with the game. That's not hating on Dr. Disrespect. I hate this mentality of you criticize something, you have to hate everything about the person behind it. That's how a child thinks. Thanks to resub Steel, Mitch, El Mago, Lucas, Poor, and Nameless. In the tier 1 cheeses. And the resub Grease and the Prime Fresh. And the resub Peyton and DK Ja. And the resub Xavier and tier 1 Willis and tier 1 Yeet. And the 5 gift subs, much needed. Much needed laughs. And resub Kane. Thanks for the 5. Have you seen much on KSP2? Nope. I've heard very not great things about it, which was surprising, because Kerbal Space Program is beloved. So they must have really fumbled, but I haven't really looked up why. Thanks to the resub Genghis, Waiters, Junkie, Prodigy, Copper, and the Prime Caleb. And the Prime Pilsh. Did you know I own all 3 Godslap comics? Hey, fuck yeah. Hope you're enjoying it. Thanks to 5 gift subs unknown. And the gift sub Kibbles. Or the resub Kibbles. Plan tonight, go over some shit and then probably pick up more Wulong. Thanks to resub Dawn. Yeah, I saw the whole Elon versus how I can't remember. Is it Halil or is it Hallie? I am already blanking, but yeah, I saw that whole situation. I read the entire thread. Thanks to the resub Danny, Star, Ragnar, and the gift sub 9, and the 5 gift sub Socks. Hey Socks, thank you, man. Hope you've been well. And thanks to the bits Dever. I think I have a piece of cheese stuck in my throat from my burrito. Thanks to the resub TJC and the Prime. Scared. And the 5 gift subs Ethereal. I'm also not super interested in Starfield based on the gameplay we've seen, but I am super down to be pleasantly surprised. Thanks to gift sub Danny and the resub Deagle and Din. And the gift sub Sturdy. And the resub Flunk. And the resub Broke. Prime Koros. I don't trust Todd. It's not that I don't trust Todd, it just seems like this game in general doesn't look that interesting. I like the shipbuilding mechanics behind it from what they've shown, but the actual gameplay looks fucking awful. There's the resub Hoodie in Tier 1 Conal and resub Meatball Poig in Montelimar. Wow, I blew that name. That's not even close. Montelimar. And the resub Snaggle and Jerry. These are the bits, hearts. Really? Did you see Dark and Darker devs got raided by police in search of stolen code? That sounds like a made-up headline. What were they doing? Flipping over mattresses looking for hidden code? What? So, Iron Mace. Oh, yep, here it is. Dark and Darker developer's office searched by police over theft allegations. Interesting. So they've confiscated some material that Nexon claims proves Dark and Darker was created with stolen code and assets, which is stolen code can't fully opine on, but the assets, literally some of the assets in Dark and Darker are just stock assets. Not like Nexon owned assets. At least none that I noticed. Not that I'm a big Nexon guy, but like I recognize a lot of the assets just from general games we've played before. It's literal just stock assets. This will be interesting. I'll have to keep up with this. There's a tier 1 onion. And the resub Crane, Answer, Majesty, and the 5 gift subs again Ethereal. And the resub Connor, Cypher, and Bits Onion. And the tier 1 writer. Stock isn't necessarily bad. I'm not saying it is, but they're claiming that it used stolen code and assets. A lot of the assets in the game are just actual stock assets, used by thousands of games. Many of which we fucking played during, like, bad game night. Like, they're just free assets. Nothing wrong with using them, but they're certainly not Nexon owned, at least not the majority of them from what I've seen. There's a resub Garrett. And the 5 gift subs Wait and See. Very interesting. Even right here, most of our assets were purchased from the Unreal Marketplace. Literally, a good chunk of it is actual just Unreal assets. I guess they weren't free though. At least not all of them. Looks like they had to pay for some of those assets. Must have had to pay for the pack. But it's not like Nexon owned assets. It's literal just fucking Unreal assets. There's the resub Mats, Gustav, Shimigi, and the Bits Universal. The code, yeah, I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you about the code. They're claiming it's made from scratch. Nexon's making it seem like some kind of Ocean's 11 heist movie where they stole the code and stole the assets. I'm more inclined to believe they built it from scratch. Mainly because Nexon is not a trustworthy source for anything whatsoever. There's a tier 1 Ep City and the Bits Pappy. And the 5 gift subs again. Ethereal, thank you. YouTuber iNabber is getting sued by the tarot card reader lunatic. You talking about Ashley is the Book of God or whatever? There's the resub. Han, Schlong, Ronaldo, Gooch, and tier 1 party. And the resub Kai. I wanted to play Destiny tonight, but the servers are offline right now. Because I do still need to do some raid prep, but I guess I'll just have to do it tomorrow. Thanks to the gift sub, Jesus. And thanks to the resub, Zach. Thanks to the Prime Mimic, Syrup, and the gift sub, Jesus. When is episode 2 of Moist Wrestling coming out? It'll be within the month. I'm optimistic we can get it within the month. I'm very excited for the next one. We've got a wild storyline cooked up. Also, the actual quality of wrestling is only going to continue to improve. We've got some I don't want to spoil anything. We've got some big stuff in the work for the MWL. Thanks to the resub Supra and Nathan. And the gift sub Jesus. And resub Rowdy. And the Prime Drew. I don't do pre-workout anymore really. If I need energy, I'll just drink a G Fuel. Legitimately, I don't really bother with pre-workout anymore. I used to do C4 though. And thank you for another 5 gift subs, Ethereal. Let's get some Jesus in the resub res. AI Seinfeld is back, but replaced all the characters. Oh. It's a shame. There's a gift sub, Jesus. What do you think about the finals so far? A lot of potential, but it is absolutely unplayable right now with that input lag. Unplayable is an exaggeration. We went 4-0 in all of our competitive matches, but it feels like shit with that input lag. There is a 0.5 second input lag on everything you do in that game. There's a resub Flunky, Grunt, and give sub again, Jesus. And tier 1 Matt. I don't watch police chases live. I wait till they conclude just in case someone gets hurt. There's a resub Sensational and GC. And give sub Jesus and resub Poo. And the Prime Hanzo. And the Prime Spoon. Yeah, I'm seeing Scream 6. I see resub Schmo. Did you hear about the woman who drove her car into Popeyes over a missing biscuit? Yeah, we went over that on stream when it happened. Of course I know about that. There's the Prime Mister. You ever fix your poster? No. Like I said, I still have a brand new big poster coming in, like a big frame for it. So there's no point in fixing that one when I'm just replacing it pretty soon anyway. There's the Prime Chote and give sub Jesus. Yeah, probably gonna do more Wulong tonight. The Bit's Lucky. No, I'm not watching that. Have people / companies sent you offers to make Godslap NFTs? Probably, but I don't look at literally anything that has crypto or NFT in the name or anything even remotely associated with that. We do have, we've had our first, like, pitch meetings for Godslap, though. Can't get into the specifics on networks or anything, but we're staying hopeful. Thanks to the resub Salad, Suzanne, and Big Money, and the Bits Tory. And the Bits Dead Man. I mean, maybe, I guess. Wouldn't be opposed to it, I guess, Dead Man. Thanks to the resub John and Ice. Should I read Godslap? I think so. I guess I'm biased, though. Thanks to the Bits Lucky. And the 5 gift subs Jay. Thank you, Jay. Is Godslap good to someone who doesn't read comics? I mean, the 4 of us that started it were not huge comic readers either, so we made it for people who literally don't read comics. So yeah, I'd say probably. We weren't big into comics before starting either. Is the resub Parion and Operator. I've only recently gotten into comics and manga over the last 2 or so years. That's when I found Tarot. And a couple of other wild ones. Is the resub Beauty. Thanks a resub, Deb. Bits lucky. Well, hope you enjoy it. Have you read Berserk by chance? Yep. I haven't finished, well, I mean, Berserk itself isn't finished, but I'm not caught up to where Berserk's been left off. But yeah, I love Berserk. That was one of the big influences. Have you seen the new Jim Browning video? Scammers were doing coke in front of kids. Nah, I didn't see that. How does that help their scam, though? Why would they be doing coke in front of kids? What's the play? Thanks to the resub, George and Nico. And Cooler and Charming. And they give sub Matt. Oh yeah, let me see what the release date is for Starfield. I'm gonna spitball a guess. Q1 2024.
Welcome aboard.
Oh wait, no, it's supposed to come out this year. November.
Showing signs over another one
16th.
of those big anomalies. Maybe you catch a smile and uncover the source of it all.
Irrelevant. Kind of loud, goddamn. It's like the THQ intro, or THX. Thanks to the best Squeefus and resubscenin. What the fuck is that, Squeefus? I'll have to look. Oh! Wait, that's so much sooner than I would have expected. Wow.
Hey everyone, from myself and everybody here at
Hey,
Bethesda,
Todd.
we are so excited to finally tell you when Starfield is coming out this year. You know, we have poured ourselves into this game, and even I'm surprised how much we can pour. It is large. We're playing the game all the time. Shout out over here to lead producer Tim Lamb. Old school
Hey,
fans,
Tim.
you may remember him from the Oblivion making of video where he's sitting on a similar sofa doing similar things. But also, this June,
Playing
we're
the
gonna
game?
bring you into the studio and give you a deep dive in the game at our Starfield Direct. There's so much that we still have to show you. The game has many of the hallmarks that you'd expect from us, but it's also a very unique experience. And again, thank you all for all of your excitement about the game, your support, your comments. We really do read it all. And look, we know you've waited a long time to play something.
I gotta
new
tell you,
from
Todd,
us.
I'm just looking at the gameplay in the
Believe it or not,
background. It
we're
looks
kind of the same.
very not
We miss
different
it.
from the
We
initial
really just
gameplay
can't
video,
wait for you
which
all
was less than
to play
impressive.
it. So thanks, and we'll see you soon.
I hope it's good, though. Really do. There's a resub jar, curry, and waffles. And the resub horizon. So 28 girls in a school were hospitalized and possessed by demons after playing with a Ouija board. Where can I find info on that? I guess we'll just try this. Oh, here we go. From the New York Post. 28 girls hospitalized with anxiety after playing with a Ouija board. Nothing says real like it being reported on by the New York Post. According to the outlet, alarm bells went off after the girls reportedly suffered signs of fainting, anxiety, and other symptoms at school. What the fuck? A Jumanji-esque pursuit that uses a sliding pointer to spell out messages in a mysterious way. Brother, it's not mysterious. Thanks to the tier 1 Shocky. Wow. Amazing. That's Zozo for you. You always have to remember to say goodbye when you're done with the Ouija board. Otherwise, you let Zozo into our world. And he does not play nice. That's a bad demon. There's a resub symbol, slab, and gooch. Why are people still convinced Ouija boards actually work? It's just because they want to believe. That's the only real reason. It's just it's harmless to believe that it works. Well, I guess not harmless with 28 girls fainting like it's an Elvis Presley concert or whatever, but usually it's harmless. There's a tier 1 place in the resub Creepy Cool and Beefcake. No, bro, it's real. That is always the interesting thing. There are people that actually just swear by it. And if you know what, we'll suspend disbelief for a moment. We'll assume none of your friends are joking around. It's, I believe the correct term is a psychosomatic response. So in your head, you are wanting it to move. You're expecting it to move. So your body is subconsciously making the decision to start moving it for you, even if it's not you consciously deciding to do it. It's not a real phenomenon. I'm pretty sure it's called the psychosomatic response. Have you tried it? Yeah, I've done a Ouija board twice. It was very not fun. It's very boring. Would rather just tell ghost stories as opposed to slowly move around a Ouija board asking boring ass questions. Thanks to the resub, Mr. Jin. Why are you so insistent on that it's real and it works? Let's play ball for a moment. If this was a portal to the afterlife, don't you think this would be extensively studied instead of being copyright protected by fucking Hasbro? This is a children's toy. It is literally manufactured by Hasbro. You think they have the portal to the underworld? I think it's Hasbro, right? I'm almost positive. Let me double check. Yeah, Hasbro. Unless they lost the rights over the last couple of years. But it doesn't seem like it. Still just all manufactured by Hasbro. Thanks the bits kin and resub tomato, humanoid, error, rig, and Grooster. The stork, Grooster. Imagine dying and have to sit around and talk to 26 girls about who's the cutest in class. True. Oh man, imagine it is real. Those spirits have to be so fucking upset. They get summoned by 28 schoolgirls about gossip or some shit. Ugh. Thanks for 5 gift subs, Shadow. I appreciate that. And the bits, Pierre. Mass delusion / hysteria on a mass scale happens semi-often. The jumping Frenchman of Maine is a good example. Yeah, yeah, 100%. This, I don't even think is going to be a case of mass hysteria. Well, I guess it would be almost a textbook definition of it. This would just be literally their class got together, played with the Ouija board, and they all started freaking out collectively. And then after seeing one person freak out, someone else freaks out in this domino effect. So yeah, I guess it is textbook mass hysteria. But the thing is, it's not a real thing. This isn't a demonic possession of 28 schoolgirls. Psychosomatic responses when you have symptoms that can't be traced back to a medical condition. Is it not psychosomatic? I'm almost 100% sure. But it's been a long time since I knew the term for this. Let me double check it. Let's see. What is the term for it? If it's not a psychosomatic response, which one is it? Why can't I find the term? Thanks to resub Hinvo and Koopa. Is it it's not the ideomotor phenomenon, is it? I don't think that necessarily fits. The body's subconscious response, I guess maybe. Is it the ideomotor response? I guess it could be. Is the prime cowardice? I really thought it was psychosomatic, but maybe it is ideomotor. Yep, it looks like it's almost, yeah, it's 100% ideomotor. I was wrong. Not psychosomatic, ideomotor phenomenon. The body sometimes reacts reflexively with the ideomotor effect to, Jesus, how about I just read the whole definition instead of paraphrase? Psychological phenomenon wherein a subject makes motions unconsciously, also called the ideomotor response or ideomotor reflex. It's a concept in hypnosis and psychological research. It's derived from the terms ideo and motor, the phrase most commonly used in reference to the process whereby a thought or mental image brings about a seemingly reflexive or automatic muscular reaction, often of a minuscule degree, and potentially outside of the awareness of the subject. Yeah, it was not psychosomatic. Yep, I'm not watching the Police Chase live. I never do. I don't know why you bother to spam that. I have not watched a single one live because I'm not going to risk someone getting hurt, getting me in trouble. There's the resub bronze in covert. Quick text message. Hello, Io. Good girl. Thanks to the Prime Jukebox and the gift sub Jesus and the resub bronze. Alright, hold on. Okay, now I'm back. Thanks to resub Cloudy and tier 1 Gusher. And the resub Monty. And tier 1 Fancy Pants. Have you seen the LAPD standoff yet? What, the one that's apparently happening right now? No, I don't do any of that shit live. There's a Prime Havoc. The tier 1 bread loaf. You hear about the lion who escaped up a tree? Did you hear about the lion who climbed up a tree to escape a flood? No, but don't they climb trees like often? There's a Prime Hybrid. You see, the WWE is going to try and legalize gambling on scripted match results. That's quite wacky. That's pretty big. Thanks to Prime Hybrid and Resublimin. That legitimately sounds like insider trading. Hey. Yeah, how about I just look up if that's real or not? We'll do sports betting. Well, actually, hold on. Let me check up here. Okay. It is a real headline. WWE in talks with state gambling regulators to legalize betting on scripted match results. Vince McMahon, you dirty dog. By God, what the fuck? Thanks, Resub Prodigy and Run. Let's toy around with this for a minute or so. I think there is a 0% chance they let this fly. If they do, that is blatant corruption. You could easily farm the fuck out of betting on WWE matches if you are a participant, a staff member who happens to know the script. Like, you could fucking cheat the system like crazy. Yeah, it's like this. I mean, it legitimately could be money laundering here. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. There's the Bit Saints. And the resub Weasel. And the resub Unknown. And the resub Leonhardt. And the 2 give subs Helios. Ain't no way this is gonna go through. I can't. Who's this goofball? I can't imagine this would go through. There's just no way. What is it? WWE is working with the accounting firm EY to secure scripted match results in hopes it will convince regulators there's no chance of results leaking to the public, said the people who asked not to be named because the discussions are private. Either way, you fucking dumb demon. What do you mean? People will know the results. They're scripted matches. People know the results going into it. Those people could just bet or tell their friends to bet on their behalf. Just tell them. It doesn't have to leak to the full-blown public, but just the people on the inside could absolutely just bet on it themselves. There's no way this actually works. WWE executives have cited Oscar betting as a template to convince regulators gambling on scripted matches is safe. Do people bet on the Oscars? That's actually news to me. I didn't know there was like sports betting for the Oscars. That's a fucking stupid thing too. But less people know the results of the Oscars than they do a wrestling match. There's a lot more people in the know on the wrestling match. There's the resub Lamari, Luke, Andy, Mika, and the Prime Vulcan. Filthy rich people trying to find more ways to scam idiots. And I guess it's kind of worked to a certain extent. You already know whoever is on the committee for the Oscar nominees and winners, they are betting. If that is like a common thing, which I've never even heard of, they're absolutely placing bets because they know who wins. It's free money. It is literally free money. You could bet $1 million. You know the result. There's no risk. Even if it's like you get $10K in return if you bet $1 million, it's free $10K. Is the resub Zappy? I'd be so pissed if I bet money on Chainsaw and that motherfucker Nasdaq showed up out of nowhere. I was as surprised as you were, brother. He was supposed to be locked in Guantanamo. That man's a menace. I don't know how he got out. There still needs to be a thorough investigation conducted on how Nasdaq escaped. This is so wild. If WWE succeeds in its bid to legalize gambling on matches, it could open the door for legalized betting on other guarded, secret, scripted events, such as future character deaths in TV series. Who is betting on this shit? Is this a common thing? Like, I understand, like, dorm room bets with your roommates. Like, hey, I bet this character is going to die in Game of Thrones or something, right? Like, I get that. Is this, like, a common thing for fucking, like, at stake.com you can bet on a character death in a TV show? Is that something they're considering? There's just no way. I don't envision a world where that would ever be common. Oh man, I didn't even think about this. This next paragraph makes an interesting point. If the gambling is allowed, that's going to change wrestling forever. The WWE's not going to give a... They're going to care even fucking less about the storylines. It's all going to be about what's going to produce the best possible odds in betting so they can cash in on it. Things a bit lucky. The resub bias. No way this will actually happen. I just can't imagine. I really can't. I don't think it will. But what an absolutely wild notion even put forward. Oof. What a big stinker of an idea. Thanks, Resub G-Disc. That's different though, Nesh. That's not like an actual company doing that though. That's just a group of like friends. Which is, again, I said I'm not surprised that exists. You can bet on anything with your boys. Thanks the Prime Elmir. The tier 1 goji berries. The resub Squessy. No, I'm not watching that live. I'll wait till after all of the shit settles, and then I'll check in, assuming it's not toss. Here's an example of an actual bet placed. The Welshman, a man of modest means, placed an accumulator bet which included bets on Cliff Richard being knighted before the turn of the millennium, you two staying together past the turn of the millennium, and both EastEnders and Neighbours remaining part of the BBC programming schedule until at least the year 2000 at a 6,479 to 1 ratio. He won 200K. With what? With what? Can you just place a bet on like actual random nonsense? Like, is there facilities for that I don't know about? Because I was still under the impression that you could bet on anything in regards to like sports and all that. I get that, but this is literal nonsense. Could I bet that Ed, Edd n Eddy's going to have a soft reboot in the next 5 years? And who would pay me out? Who am I betting against? Thanks to tier 1 Autumn. The casino or whatever. I don't think it's a casino, man. What kind of casino is going to be betting on whether or not these two programs remain on the BBC until the year 2000? There has to be some other service or something. Thanks to the resub, Alex. Believe it or not, you can actually bet on UFOs and when humans will discover alien life outside of Earth. So can I just make up my own criteria of bets? Like I bet $50,000 God Slap issue 4 will be out within the next 3 months or whatever. And then is someone going to take that bet even though I know the answer? That's insider trading. How do you prove it though? This is like literal nonsense. The example he gave is these two programs will probably run until at least the year 2000. Like, what the fuck? Thanks for the gift sub, Poofy. That's mind-boggling. I didn't know it was like. I didn't know they had such like crazy novelty bets. I thought the novelty bets only existed within the sports context. So you can bet on shit like, I bet there's a safety that happens in the first quarter, like that kind of shit. Then you get some crazy odds. But I didn't know you could just do it over actual nonsense. In Ireland, you can walk into a bookies and tell them what you want to bet on. Could be about whether up to you. What do you mean? I feel like you missed a very crucial word in that statement. I don't even know what that means. And no, I don't know what that is, Lucky. I haven't seen the episode or anything. And thanks to the resub, Snazzy. Hey, appreciate it, Death Metal. Hope you enjoy it. Means you can offer any bet to a bet house in Ireland and they can accept it or not. Well, I just don't see why they ever would. It's actual nonsensical shit. Thanks to resub, Poggies. To make money? Okay, obviously the goal would be to make money, but if it's completely nonsensical shit, the odds of making money are super low. Again, I could take something to them that I'm well versed in and already know the outcome of and bet on it. And they would have no way of proving that. For example, the guy who won 200k off betting that 2 programs would remain on BBC, who's to say he didn't know a couple of the actors who had contracts that extended past 2000? You can't prove it. Like, it's like, why would you ever accept that kind of bet? It's nonsense. It's actual fucking nonsense. I can't wrap my head around it. I really can't. That is bafflingly stupid. Thanks to the resub, Pandemonium. Maybe I'm just giving too much credit to the bookies or whatever, but I don't see why anyone would ever accept a complete nonsensical dog shit bet like that. Thanks to the bits, Saints. Amen, Saints. How do they calculate the odds for such bets? Oh, I have no fucking clue. That I have no idea. I don't know how they even would begin calculating those odds. Just pull them out of their ass, I guess. Yeah, no, I heard about the manhunt going on right now on ABC7. Did you see the police drop the case on... Yeah, I did see the police drop the case on Morant. Hopefully that'll be a wake-up call to him. Things at Prime. Fingers. And the resub wire. And Filthy. And Dab. Dude, Forspoken died so fast. The whole studio died. Yeah, no, that was a disaster. That was an absolute catastrophe. Thanks, Arisa Baron. Yep, came out today, Dowland. Can you watch Why You're Wrong About Nuclear Power on YouTube? Like why I personally am wrong? Or is that the name of the video, Why You're Wrong About Nuclear Energy? Thanks, Resub J, Vin, Anarchist, and the gift sub Bagel. And the resub Seeker. Hey, fuck yeah. Hope you enjoyed, Sludge. You talking shit on nukes? Hey, I've said it with my whole chest. I'll say it again. Nuclear energy, it got a real bad rap because of Chernobyl, but god damn it, it's like the best option we have. Thanks to Prime Pixie. Thanks to Prime Sodas. Have you looked at the Murdaugh murders? No, I saw something about it, but I didn't look into it. Yeah, there's covers for it, Dowlin, for sure. Any game tonight? Depends on... Yes, but it just depends on which game. So, maybe Destiny 2, if the servers are up. If not Destiny 2, then Wulong. Because I still need the grind. What light level you were in Destiny? 1778, I think. And I need to get to 1780, and I need to get all of my weapons to 1780, so I still got quite a bit of grinding to do. And I only have 2 days to do it. How are you not 1780 yet? Haven't been grinding. Haven't grinded since completing the campaign. Because then Wulong came out, and then I was playing other games and shit. So I've got a rush here at the end. Thanks for some mercy. That's like an hour or two of grinding? How? Spent 5 hours grinding and only went up like 2 light levels the other night. I'm gonna hop on now though if it's back up. The pinnacles are just not getting it done for me. Maybe I'm having bad luck.